How do you raise a child with your blood, tears, and soul, only for that same child to call you useless and throw you into the street like trash? This isn't just a story. This is the kind of betrayal that makes the sky weep and the gods turn their faces. Because what this mother suffered, no woman deserves. Her name was Mama Lydia. Everyone in Ajigunal town knew her as the cheerful akara seller at the street corner, always smiling, always humming gospel songs, even when her slippers had holes and her wrapper was faded. She lived in a single room with her only child, David. From the moment David was born, her life became one long sacrifice. His father had run off with another woman when he was still sucking breast. But Mama Lydia didn't cry for too long. She wiped her tears and stood up. "I will raise this boy with my last breath," she swore. "He will make it in life even if I die trying." And she meant it. She hawked akara morning and night, even under the rain. She would soak Gary for 3 days just to save money for his books. And when David fell sick, she once sold her wedding ring to buy his drugs. The boy grew. Quiet. Brilliant. Respectful. Neighbors always said, "Mama Lydia, this your boy go make you proud." And she believed it. One evening, when David was 16, she came home and saw him crying. "What is it?" she asked. "I don't want to live like this again," he said. "I want to be rich. I want to change your life." Mama Lydia held his face and smiled. "And you will, my son. You will. But do it the right way." David later got a scholarship to study abroad. Mama Lydia borrowed money from the Ajigunal Women's Union just to buy him a suitcase. When he entered the airport, she knelt on the floor and cried tears of joy. "My God has done it." 5 years later, David returned. Tall. Handsome. Bearded. Wearing a suit that smelt like foreign perfume. He had made it. Everyone came out to see him. "My son. My blood." Mama Lydia cried, hugging him like her life depended on it. David laughed, hugged her back. He said all the right things. Called her Queen Mother. Even gave her 100,000 cash on the spot. Life finally began to shine for Mama Lydia. Or so she thought. 3 months after returning, David bought a new house in Lekki. A mansion with glass windows and white tiles. The whole compound smelled like wealth. He came back to Ajigunal and said, "Mama, you can't stay in that slum anymore. You're moving in with me." Mama Lydia danced with joy. "I told them. My son is not a failure." They packed her bag. Only 2 wrappers, 1 Bible, and a framed photo of baby David. In Lekki, everything was perfect at first. But after a few weeks, things changed. David became cold. Distant. He no longer sat with her during meals. His tone became sharp. "Mama, don't open the fridge without asking." "Mama, please don't touch the AC remote." "Mama, don't invite people here. This is not a village." She tried to understand. Maybe he was stressed. Maybe work was hard. Then came Tonia, David's girlfriend. A tall, light-skinned girl with eyelash like broom and pride bigger than a lion's. From the day she moved in, peace moved out. She hated Mama Lydia. She never greeted. She rolled her eyes when Mama Lydia prayed out loud. She even mocked her cooking. "David," she said one night, loud enough for Mama Lydia to hear, "why is your mother acting like this is her house? I can't even enjoy myself." David didn't say a word. The next morning, he came to Mama Lydia's room. "Mama, we need to talk." She looked up, smiling. "Yes, my son. I think it's best you move back to Ajigunal." Her face froze. "What?" "Tonia is not comfortable. You know how modern girls are. I'll send you money every month. I'll even get someone to help you clean." Tears rushed to her eyes. "You want to send me away, from your house?" "Mama, don't make this emotional," he said coldly. "This is my house. I have a life too." She wept. "After all the suffering? David, you're sending me back to poverty." But he stood there, expressionless. That evening, he ordered an Uber. She sat quietly in the back seat, hugging the framed baby photo to her chest. Even the driver couldn't look at her. Back in Ajigunal, people were shocked. "What happened? Why are you back?" Mama Lydia had no voice. She locked herself in her room for days. Only her radio kept her company, tuned to a church station. Then one evening, she collapsed while sweeping the compound. Neighbors rushed her to the health center. Diagnosis: high blood pressure, emotional shock, malnutrition. She spent 5 nights on a hard bed with mosquito nets full of holes. David never called. But destiny had not forgotten her. One Sunday morning, an expensive car drove into Ajigunal. People stared in confusion. A woman in a yellow lace gown stepped out. She asked for Mama Lydia. They pointed to her room. The woman knocked gently and entered. "Mama, I don't know if you remember me," she said. "My name is Naomi. 20 years ago, I was one of your Accra customers. You once gave me free food when I had nothing." Mama Lydia blinked. "Naomi." "Yes, Mama. You told me, one day, help someone else the way I helped you." That sentence changed my life. Tears rolled down Naomi's cheeks. "I'm the CEO of a women's NGO now. We help forgotten mothers. I've been looking for you for years." She took Mama Lydia's hand. "I want to give you a house, a car, and a monthly allowance for life." The entire compound screamed. Neighbors rushed in. Some were crying. Others fell on their knees. "Mama Lydia, God has remembered you." Back in Lekki, David's world was falling apart. Tonia had left him, run away with his business partner. His account was frozen due to fraud allegations. His house was about to be seized. One evening, he sat in the dark, holding the same framed baby photo his mother left behind. He wept. "God, what have I done?" He sat in darkness, in the same Lekki mansion that once smelled of imported candles and fresh roses. Now, the house stank of dust, broken promises, and silence. The curtains were torn. Rats had made a home in the store. The generator had packed up. Everything was falling apart. His accounts were frozen by EFCC. His business partner, who also took Tonia, had disappeared with millions. Calls from banks and angry investors came day and night. But none of that hurt more than the image that wouldn't leave his mind. His mother, sitting in an old Uber, holding a baby photo of him, with tears in her eyes. He had kicked her out. He had become the kind of man his father was, cold, selfish, heartless. Meanwhile, back in Ajigunal, Mama Lydia's life had turned into a testimony. Naomi and her team renovated an abandoned bungalow near the center of town. They painted it white and blue, planted flowers, and placed a golden sign by the gate. "House of Honor, Mama Lydia." Inside, the house was filled with warmth. New furniture, a small kitchen garden, a reading corner, and a sparkling bathroom with tiles that shone like glass. But it wasn't the house that made the news. It was the story. Naomi posted the transformation online. A story about how one Accra woman changed her life and taught her to give back. She shared the video of Mama Lydia's first visit to her new home, where she broke down in tears and prayed for everyone. The video went viral. Millions watched. People from all over Nigeria began to ask, "Who is Mama Lydia? Is she real? Where's her son?" Some even started calling her Nigeria's Mother of Mercy. Mama Lydia was invited to churches, women's events, and even featured on a local TV show. Each time she spoke, she ended with this: "Don't ever think your kindness is wasted. God stores it. And one day when you least expect it, He will open the storehouse and flood your life with reward." But even in her joy, her heart still ached. She missed David. No matter what he had done, he was still her son. She prayed for him every night. Sometimes, she would sit on her porch, look at the road and whisper, "Maybe today he'll come." One Thursday afternoon, she got a visitor. Not David, but someone who carried his face. A little boy, around 7 years old, holding a note. "Are you Mama Lydia?" he asked shyly. "Yes, my dear." He gave her the note. She opened it. "Mama, this is Daniel, your grandson. I messed up. I lost everything. I don't even have what it takes to come and face you yet. But I had to send him to the only person I trust. Please forgive me. Take care of him until I can be a man again. David." She looked up. The boy's eyes were brown, just like David's. Tears flooded her face. She hugged him tightly. My son, my grandson. Daniel quickly became the light in her house. He loved to water the garden, sing along to her gospel radio, and eat akara every Saturday morning. He called her Big Mummy. He didn't say much about his father. Just that he was always sad and barely spoke. Mama Lydia knew the pain David must be feeling. But she also knew God was working. Then, something happened. Naomi invited Mama Lydia to speak at a massive women's conference in Abuja. It was to be held at a big hotel, with thousands of people coming from different states. Naomi said, "Mama, your story is not just yours anymore. You're a symbol of hope. Please come share it." They flew her there. She wore a beautiful blue lace gown, gaily wrapped like royalty, and held her Bible close. When she walked into the hall, the crowd stood up. Claps. Cheers. Some women were already crying. Mama Lydia walked to the podium and spoke with the calm of someone who had walked through fire and survived. She shared her journey, her struggles, her pain, her joy, and finally, her message. Children, honor your parents. They are not perfect, but they carried you when you were nothing. And mothers, even when your child fails you, don't stop praying. Sometimes they are just lost, but love will bring them back. The hall went silent. Suddenly, a man in the back stood up. Slim with tired eyes, but a familiar walk. He walked down the aisle slowly. The room gasped. It was David. He reached the stage, knelt before her, and held her feet. "Mama," his voice broke. "I don't deserve your forgiveness. I failed you. I failed myself. I let the world twist me. I chased pride and lost everything. But if you still have a place in your heart for me, I beg you." Tears poured freely from the audience. Mama Lydia bent down, lifted him up gently, and hugged him. She whispered, "My son. My David. I have been waiting for you." The hall exploded in applause and cries. That moment was captured by news channels, bloggers, and radio stations. It became the headline. Son who rejected his mother returns to kneel before her in public, a redemption story. David's story went everywhere. Within a week, a small business owner reached out to him. "I watched your story. I've made mistakes too. But the way you came back humbled me. I believe in second chances. Come work with me." That was the beginning of his healing. In the months that followed, David began to rebuild, this time with humility. He sold the Lekki house and donated part of the money to an orphanage in his mother's name. He moved to a modest apartment and focused on learning the business from scratch. Every Sunday, he and Daniel would visit Mama Lydia in Ajigunal. He would help her clean, cook, and even pound yam just like old times. The neighbors who once shook their heads now smiled whenever they saw him. "David has changed," they said. "See what grace can do." 1 year later, David started a foundation with Naomi's help. It was called the Lydia Love Foundation, helping single mothers and abandoned parents find support. Mama Lydia was made the chairwoman. Mama Lydia sat on her porch, surrounded by flowers, her Bible on her lap. Daniel was playing football in the compound. David walked out with 2 cups of Zobo. "Mama," he said, handing her one. "Thank you for not giving up on me." She smiled, sipped, and looked at the sky. "My joy is full." Just then, a group of kids passed the gate and shouted, "Mama Lydia, we love you." She laughed. "Tell your mamas to fry better akara next time." The sky turned golden. The sun smiled. And for the first time in a long, long time, everything felt right again.